It's that time of the year again where you look back at your year of racing and you plan forward for next season. So what are your goals next year? Are you hoping to do better? Are you hoping to win? Or are you going to plan to win? Are you going to rely on your oppositions getting worse? Or are you going to come up with something different? Something different this year from the previous years to give you an edge and to help you chase your dreams. And to help you chase your dreams, what information are you going to rely upon to make your decisions? Is it going to be a myth or based on reality? One of the myths that we have explored on this channel has been the relationship between the blade and the water, with the popular myth being that going negative is bad, not efficient. Some people think that the bubbles in the vortex is bad. This means that it's not efficient. However, try it yourself. The greater the vortex you produce with your blade, the greater the resistance, which means the greater the force you're producing. This Dragon Boat video is courtesy of Jacob DeFader, whose name you'll see on many paddling forums on the internet. The internet can be a great source of information. Ideally, you would base your decisions on information that has the backing of scientific methodology, where someone proves that what they say is true and will work. Prioritize scientific evidence when you're formulating your program to succeed, to reach your goals. If this is your team, you're going okay, but you want to guarantee a win. It might be your last year of racing, so it's now or never. Let's make our goal to improve by 0.5 meters per second, which would improve our 200 meter time to 41.8 seconds. Using an erg as our measuring tool, we would need to improve our power by 100 watts in order to increase our boat speed and reduce our 200 meter time to match our desired goal. We would need to improve our power output for every stroke by an average of 100 watts. We need to understand how our technique affects our force output, the power curve, how our technique limits us or allows us to produce more force. Here is the force per stroke for an average paddler and a novice. With the novice, you can improve them with simple strength training, although some technical changes would also help. With an average paddler, you likely need clever technical changes plus some strength training, but for an exceptional paddler, you will need to think outside the square, do what no one else has done before, or perhaps gather all the information and add 1 and 1 and equal 3. I say that because I've seen this exceptional paddler go from averaging 300 watts to averaging 450 watts with just one technical change. Popular narrative is that team is fast because they do a lot of strength training. Therefore, we need to copy them. However, there are many slow teams which also do the same strength exercises and lift the same weights. Granted, some strength training will get you to be a reasonable paddler with your current technique, but in order to become an exceptional paddler or exceptionally fast boat, you'll need to change your technique and change your training exercises to match. The evidence that I've seen shows that we are yet to find the appropriate strength training that will, on its own, make us exceptionally fast. Well, let me clarify. You have yet to find, because the fastest paddler I know does one exercise that is different from all the other paddlers in the boat, and How do I know this exercise works? Well, there's only one other person that I know that does the same exercise, and both those paddlers are much faster than everyone else. And both those paddlers use a slightly different technique which actually matches the exercise very well. I've also used a similar exercise and achieved, well, exceptionally good results. So I can verify that the exercise they do has strong efficacy. So, if you want to improve by 100 watts or 5 seconds in a 200-meter race, then you will need to make technical changes. In fact, with the technical changes, you could probably improve by 200 watts. However, to improve 5-second difference in a 200-meter race, you would have to improve your technique for each stroke in a 200-meter race. And therefore, you need to match that technique with appropriate strength training exercises. For example, we don't do this when we're paddling. It's more of a stroke like this. But whatever technical change you want to make or you think you need to make to get that 100 or 200 watts is going to differ from that, but you will need to find an exercise that mimics that movement. And another thing, don't tell your opposition this. You need to strengthen in an area where no one has thought of strengthening before. We always strengthen in this plane, forward, backwards. But no one has strengthened in this plane. That will give you the biggest advantage. Make next year the best paddling year of your life.